Day 1. Arrival in Baghdad. First breath of Mesopotamia.
Jesse glanced out the oval window at the flat, sun-drenched horizon. "Here we go," he said, adjusting his cap.
Lily smiled, her sun hat balanced in her lap. First time in Mesopotamia, can you believe it?
The airport bustled with travelers, families greeting relatives, businessmen rushing past, soldiers moving with purpose. Jesse and Lily wheeled their suitcases through arrivals, stopping to exchange dollars for dinars. Outside, heat wrapped around them like a heavy blanket, but the air buzzed with life. A taxi ride brought them into the city, where Baghdad unfolded, streets alive with honking horns, fruit stalls stacked with pomegranates, and children chasing each other through narrow alleys. Murals decorated the walls, blending modern resilience with history. Baghdad was founded in 762 CE by the Caliph al-Mansur. Their first stop, Mutanabi Street, the famous bookseller's street.
Lily gasped at rows of second-hand books spilling across tables. It feels like a river of stories, she whispered.
Jessie snapped a photo of her holding a poetry book, the sunlight casting a golden glow on her hair. Then they visited Al Mustansiriya Madrasa. It was established in 1227 CE, one of the oldest Islamic universities, and one of the greatest civilizational achievements of the Abbasid Caliphate. It's located on the Tigris River bank, saying much about the history of Baghdad. They enjoyed it very much, taking many memorable pictures.
Jesse said, "I wish I were a student here."
Then they headed to the ruins of Tak Kasra, or the ruins of the Arch of Ctesiphon. Is a grand monument and the last standing remnant of a Sasanian-era Persian palace complex. Lily was amazed to learn that the capital of the Sasanian Empire was in what is now known as Baghdad. That night, they dined on masgouf, Iraq's famous grilled fish, at a riverside restaurant along the Tigris River.
Jessie struggled with the fish's bones, and Lily laughed so hard she nearly spilled her tea. First challenge of the trip, he grinned, conquering masgouf.
They ended the evening with folk music drifting from a nearby cafe, the Tigris glimmering under moonlight. Day 2. Baghdad's treasures, museums, and minarets. History under glass and the sounds of the city. The morning sun rose over Baghdad, casting an orange glow over the sky. Their first destination, the Iraqi Museum, home to artifacts of Mesopotamia. Inside, they marveled at ancient tablets, statues of winged bulls, and jewelry from thousands of years ago.
Can you imagine? Lily said softly, tracing the glass over a cuneiform tablet. People were writing here before the world even knew paper.
Jesse, his cap tilted back, nodded. "It feels like the beginning of everything."
After visiting the museum, they proceeded to the Al-Shahid monument, where its turquoise domes reflected in the water. Silence surrounded them, a tribute to Iraq's sacrifices. They then visited the beautiful cathedral Sayyidat al-Najat in Baghdad, where they lit a few candles and met with many Christians in the church. This is one of many cathedrals and churches which has a long history in Baghdad. In the afternoon, they wandered through Baghdad's bazaars, haggling over scarves and spices. A vendor offered them baklava dripping with honey. Jesse bit in, his beard glistening with syrup, making Lily laugh again.
The day ended with traditional makam music at a cultural center. The haunting strings filled the air as Jesse whispered, "This feels timeless."
Day 3. Babylon, echoes of empires. Ruins of kings and laughter among stones. They left Baghdad early, driving south to Babylon, once the jewel of Mesopotamia.
Heat shimmered off the ground as they entered the ancient site. "Welcome to the land of Hammurabi," Jesse said, reading from a guidebook.
The Ishtar Gate's replica stood tall, its blue tiles adorned with lions and dragons. Lily posed beneath it, sun hat shading her face.
Imagine parades marching through here, she said.
They explored the ruins, Jesse climbing onto fallen stones while Lily snapped photos. At one point, he pretended to be King Nebuchadnezzar, giving a speech, his deep voice echoing through the empty corridors. Lily doubled over laughing, nearly dropping her camera. Lunch was kebab and flatbread from a roadside stall, eaten under a palm tree.
Local kids waved and asked for selfies with the couple, making Jesse joke, "I'm famous in Babylon now." As the sun dipped, they watched the ruins glow golden.
Lily whispered, This place feels alive, like it's waiting for its stories to be told.
Day 4. Samarra. Spirals in the sand. A tower to the sky and echoes of faith. Driving north, Jesse and Lily arrived in Samarra, home to the great mosque and its spiraling Malwiya minaret.
Looks like a sandcastle, Jesse said, craning his neck upward. They climbed the spiraling ramp together, the sun blazing overhead.
Lily's laughter echoed as she clung to Jesse's arm. "Don't look down," she shouted, but Jesse leaned over the edge, grinning mischievously.
At the top, the view stretched endlessly fields, the Tigris, the city, shimmering in the distance. Jesse pulled off his cap, letting the wind ruffle his hair. Worth every step.
That evening, they joined a folk dance gathering, where locals welcomed them with drums and swirling movements. Jesse tried to mimic the steps, nearly tripping, while Lily spun gracefully with her sun hat still on. Their laughter melted into the rhythm of Samarra's night. Day 5. Mosul, the capital of Nineveh. Resilience and renewal. Ancient faiths, reborn heritage, and the whisper of civilizations past. The sun rose gently over Mosul, casting a soft gold glow across the Tigris River. Jesse and Lily leaned against the balcony of their small hotel, the city waking beneath them, vendors setting up stalls, children in uniform hurrying to school.
And the call to prayer blends with the distant bells of church towers. "Morning in Nineveh," Jesse murmured, adjusting his cap as he looked out. "It's hard to believe this city once held empires."
Lily smiled, her blonde hair tucked neatly beneath her rose sun hat. "And it still holds its soul."
After breakfast, warm bread, honey, and sweet tea, they began their day at the Mosul Museum, recently reopened after restoration. The hallways felt sacred, lined with Assyrian statues, winged bulls, and ancient carvings from Nineveh's palaces.
Jesse paused before a massive stone tablet covered in cuneiform. This is the language of beginnings," he whispered.
Lily traced the air just above the carvings, eyes soft. "It's like time folded and let us peek inside."
They visited the rebuilt Al-Nuri Mosque, its minaret standing proud again. Jesse placed a hand on the stone. "It's not just rebuilding, it's healing."
Their next stop was Al-Tahira, Syriac Catholic Church, one of Mosul's oldest church. Its walls still bore faint scars of war, but sunlight filtered through repaired stained glass windows, scattering color across the stone floor. A small choir practiced quietly, their voices echoing softly in Arabic and Aramaic, a melody of endurance.
Lily closed her eyes, listening. "It feels peaceful," she said, "like the city is healing through its songs."
They visited several more historic churches, St. Thomas, St. Paul's, and the Syriac Orthodox Church of St. Ephraim, each a living monument to faith that refused to fade. In every one, they met caretakers who shared stories of reconstruction, hope, and community. In the afternoon, they crossed the bridge to the old city, where narrow alleys carried centuries of life. The air smelled of spices and freshly baked bread.
Jesse stopped to watch a craftsman hammering brass, sparks flickering in the shadows. "The heartbeat of Mosul," he said.
A few hours' drive southwest brought them to Hatra, the fabled ancient city that once ruled the desert. The road stretched endlessly, golden sand and sky blurring into one. When the ruins finally rose from the earth, Lily gasped. The temples of Hatra stood proud and solemn, columns soaring into the heat haze, carved walls glowing amber under the setting. Sunday birds circled above like silent witnesses to time.
"This feels untouched by the world," Jesse whispered, adjusting his camera.
Their guide told them how Hatra, once a mighty fortress of the Parthian Empire, had resisted conquerors for centuries.
Jesse ran his hand along a weathered stone pillar. "You can feel the strength here," he said.
Lily, hat shielding her from the desert glare, looked around in awe. Imagine the festivals, the prayers, the people who stood right here thousands of years ago.
They wandered through the temple courts, photographing arches and statues half buried in sand. A gentle breeze carried the scent of earth and history. As the sun began to sink, Jesse and Lily sat on a low wall facing the ruins, sharing a bottle of cold water and a quiet moment.
The desert turned shades of copper and violet, the silence broken only by the whispering wind. Lily spoke softly. We've seen cities rebuild and ruins that still stand.
It's all part of the same story, isn't it? Jesse nodded. Resilience, he said simply. It's what holds this place together. Dinner was dolma, lentil soup, and strong black tea, shared with locals who insisted on treating them like family. Jesse raised his glass. To Mosul, he said. To Nineveh.
To the spirit that never dies. Lily smiled, eyes glimmering. And to every story still waiting to be told.
That evening, by the banks of the Tigris, they listened to a youth group playing oud and singing folk songs.
Jesse leaned against a stone wall, Lily resting her head on his shoulder. This city sings even after silence, she whispered.
Day 6. Erbil, citadel of the ages, the capital of Kurdistan. Markets, mountains, and modern joy. A flight carried them to Erbil, the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. The Erbil citadel, rising like a crown over the city, captivated them.
They wandered through its ancient gates, Jesse shading his eyes with his cap. This place has been lived in for thousands of years, he said in awe.
Lily gently touched the ancient brick walls. In the bazaar below, Lily bargained for a colorful shawl while Jesse tried dried figs from a stall. They laughed with locals, taking photos under Kurdish flags fluttering in the breeze. Later, they drove toward the mountains near Erbil, where the air cooled. Dinner was a feast of lamb, rice, and yogurt under an open tent, music filling the night. Jesse even joined a Kurdish dance line, stumbling at first but soon finding the rhythm. Lily clapped, her laughter blending with the drums. Day 7. Dukan Dam. Waters of farewell. Lakes, laughter, and goodbyes in Baghdad. On their last day, Jesse and Lily visited the Dukan Dam, its vast blue lake reflecting the summer sky.
They rented a small boat, Jesse rowing as Lily leaned over the edge, dipping her fingers into the water. This feels like a painting, she sighed.
They swam, picnicked on grilled chicken and watermelon, and lay on the shore watching the clouds drift. Jesse, cap over his face, whispered, "Can we freeze this moment?"
By evening, they were back in Baghdad International Airport. The departure hall bustled, the same energy they'd felt a week ago. Lily clutched her sun hat as she turned to Jesse.
I don't want to leave, she admitted softly. He squeezed her hand. We'll carry it with us, every laugh, every story, every step.
As their plane lifted into the sky, Mesopotamia's rivers and plains stretched beneath them, timeless, eternal.